Look at your palm. Do you see the letter M? Now look closer at the base of your thumb. There's a faint curve, a half-moon line. Do you see it? If you carry both marks, stop scrolling. This message isn't for everyone. It's for the ones who were written about centuries ago. Souls born with two frequencies inside one body, earth and heaven. You were never just spiritual. You were never just practical. You were born between worlds. They call you the bridge souls, those who awaken during times of chaos. And right now, your awakening has begun. But don't be deceived. This isn't a blessing that makes life easy. It's a covenant that tests your strength. When the letter M and the crescent line meet on one hand, the universe begins your initiation. Not through miracles, but through tests. 3 of them, each one sacred, each one personal. And if you fail, the markings fade into ordinary lines again. But if you pass, your destiny activates. The ancient monks once called this the season of the marked. A generation of souls born with invisible codes in their palms, sent to anchor light when the world drowns in noise. That time is now. So if your life has felt heavier lately, if you've lost people, if silence has been following you, it's not bad luck. It's the first test. The test of isolation. This video isn't entertainment. It's a map for the few who will recognize the symbols on their own skin. If you have the M, if you have the moon, stay until the end, because the third test has already begun. You've felt it, haven't you? That quiet ache that never really goes away. You can be surrounded by people, yet still feel unseen. You laugh when they laugh, but inside there's silence. A silence that no one seems to understand. Maybe you've tried to explain it before. You've said things like, I just feel different. But the more you talk, the less they hear. They nod, they smile, but they don't feel it. Listen, you're not imagining this. That distance you feel from others isn't rejection, it's preparation. In ancient palmistry, the letter M was called the mark of mission. It appears on the hands of those who came to lead, not by shouting, but by seeing truth before others do. And that kind of sight comes with a cost. Before a leader can rise, the universe isolates them, because noise kills clarity. And you, my friend, are being trained to hear something deeper. Think back to the last few years of your life, the friendships that ended suddenly, the conversations that drained you, the jobs or places that used to fit, until one day they didn't. None of it was random. The universe has been pulling you away from what dilutes your energy. You've been pulled out of circles that can't match your frequency anymore, and it hurts. It feels unfair. But the truth is, you can't hear divine instruction when you're surrounded by noise. Isolation is not punishment. It's initiation. It's how the universe says, I need your full attention now. You see, most people find comfort in belonging, but chosen souls are built to find a purpose in solitude. That's why silence feels both peaceful and painful at the same time. Because deep inside, you know something is changing. Not outside you, but inside you. Take a breath. Every spiritual leader, every prophet, every light bearer, they all walk through this same desert. They lose people, they lose direction, and then one day they find something far greater, the sound of their own soul. This is your first test, the test of isolation. The question isn't, how much can you endure? The real question is, can you trust yourself when no one else does? Because that's what this season is teaching you, to build your confidence from silence, to find validation not from approval, but from alignment, to hear your own voice and realize it was divine all along. And maybe right now your world feels small. Maybe you've stopped talking as much. You spend more time alone. You watch the sky or listen to music that no one else seems to get. You start to crave quiet instead of company. Don't fight it. That is your soul recalibrating. It's your energy being retuned to a higher station. And when you're finally tuned in, you'll notice something miraculous. The right people begin to appear. Not loud, not dramatic, just real. Souls who recognize your silence. People who don't need you to explain yourself. They'll come later, after this test, but not yet. Right now, the universe wants to see if you'll give up the noise. It wants to know if you'll keep trusting the path when it gets lonely, because that's the mark of the M-Soul. It's not about having followers, it's about learning to follow your own light. And when you finally stop trying to belong where you've outgrown, a strange peace begins to settle in. You start to realize you were never misunderstood. You were simply misplaced. The world you were born to build doesn't exist yet. You are the blueprint. That's why the silence hurts. Because you're not missing people. You're missing the version of you that used to need them. The moment you understand that, the isolation ends. Not because the crowd comes back, but because you no longer need the crowd to feel complete. And that's when the universe whispers, "Good, you passed. You've endured the first initiation. You've learned to stand alone without shrinking. You've learned that solitude isn't emptiness. It's sacred space. But as your peace grows, something else begins to awaken inside you. Strange dreams, subtle signs, a voice that seems to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. That's how you know you're being called into the next test, the test of intuition. After the silence comes the signal. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It speaks through feelings, through timing, through things that logic can't explain. You wake up one morning and think of someone you haven't seen in years, and within hours, they call. You dream of a symbol, a number, a place, and a few days later, it appears in front of you. You tell yourself it's just coincidence, but deep down, you know better. Listen, this is how your second test begins. The test of intuition. When the crescent line appears on your palm, it's more than a mark. It's an antenna, an energetic receiver that connects your physical world to the unseen one. It tunes you into what others can't sense. Vibrations, emotions, energy shifts. And at first, it's confusing. You feel too much. You walk into a room and instantly know who's hurting. You hear a song and feel someone else's memories. You get drained by crowds, anxious in small talk, yet peaceful near trees, the sea, or under moonlight. You've tried to ignore it, to fit in, but your body refuses to lie anymore. Your system is built to feel truth before words arrive. Take a breath. This sensitivity is not weakness, it's your spiritual radar. And the second test is all about learning how to trust it. Because the world will teach you to doubt it. Be rational, they'll say. Stop overthinking. Don't be so emotional. But intuition is not emotion. It's knowing without needing proof. It's memory from before memory. It's your soul recognizing the pattern before your mind catches up. The moment you begin to trust that knowing, your path starts unfolding in ways that defy reason. And that's exactly why this test exists. To see whether you'll trust your inner compass or abandon it for approval. Think of every mistake you've ever made. Didn't your gut warn you first? Didn't you feel that strange heaviness, that quiet no in your chest before you said yes? Your intuition has never failed you. You just stopped listening. And here's the truth. When you carry the crescent mark, your guidance system is louder than most people's. Ignoring it will make life louder too. In chaos, confusion, and repeated lessons, the universe doesn't punish. It repeats until you remember. So when you keep meeting the same type of person, facing the same kind of betrayal, or walking into the same dead ends, don't ask, why does this keep happening to me? Ask instead, what did I ignore the first time? Because the moment you honor your inner yes and no, life rearranges itself around your frequency. Doors close faster, but new ones open with ease. The wrong people fall away, but the right ones appear without effort, and you begin to see it, the invisible architecture of destiny moving in real time. Remember this: your intuition doesn't compete with logic. It completes it. Logic builds the map, but intuition knows the weather. It knows when to pause, when to leap, when to wait. It sees the potholes that reason can't, and hears the hidden danger. The second test doesn't appear as a crisis. It appears as comfort. The comfortable lie, the safe choice, the crowd that tells you everyone does this. But you're not everyone. If you ignore the whisper long enough, life will get louder until you can't. That's how intuition works. It starts as a nudge, then becomes a storm. You'll feel tired for no reason. You'll lose interest in what once excited you, and the things that used to work will stop working. That's not depression, that's misalignment. It's your soul saying, you've outgrown this. Take another breath. You're not losing your way, you're losing your mask. When you begin trusting your intuition, you start walking a path that no one else can see. And that's terrifying at first, because now, no one can tell you what's right. Only your inner voice can. That's why this test feels lonely. That's why it feels like walking blindfolded through fog. But every step you take in faith burns the fog away. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the whole path was visible the entire time, just not until you had the courage to walk it. You passed the test of intuition the moment you stop asking for permission to believe yourself. You stop saying, "What if I'm wrong?" and start saying, "What if I'm right?" When that happens, the crescent on your hand begins to glow in ways unseen, not literally, but energetically. It becomes a signal that says to the universe, "I'm listening now." And the universe answers, through synchronicities, through signs, through the right message arriving at the right moment. Like this one, you've passed the second test. You've learned to trust the invisible. And now, the universe prepares you for the hardest challenge of all. The final trial, the one that merges everything you've learned so far. The test of purpose. You've walked through silence. You've trusted the invisible. Now comes the hardest test of them all, the test of purpose. This is where many souls stop. They make it through isolation. They awaken their intuition. But when it's time to act, they freeze. Because purpose demands courage. It doesn't ask you to survive anymore. It asks you to lead. Listen carefully. The letter M on your palm was never a coincidence. It's the mark of earthly power, the ability to build, to create, to lead, to manifest. It's the line of those who can turn vision into reality. The crescent line beneath it is the mark of spiritual power, the ability to feel, to heal, to receive divine guidance. It's the line of those who walk between worlds. Most people have one or the other, but you carry both. That means your soul carries a double frequency. And that's why your life has never been simple. Take a breath, because here comes the truth. The final test isn't about what you can believe, it's about what you can become. The universe will place you in situations that seem impossible. Moments where your logic says, go left, but your intuition screams, go right. This is the tension between the two halves of your power. The M pulls you to build the world, the crescent calls you to transcend it. And the question becomes, can you unite them? Because if you separate them, you divide yourself. You'll live as two people, one chasing success, the other searching for peace. One tired of the material world, the other terrified of losing stability. You'll win trophies but feel empty. You'll meditate but feel lost. You'll climb mountains but never feel home. That is the curse of the half-awakened. And that is the purpose of the third test, to end the division. Listen, The world has enough dreamers with no discipline and enough achievers with no soul. What it's starving for are the bridge souls, those who bring heaven into the marketplace, who bring consciousness into creation, who lead without ego and serve without fear. That's your mission, to merge the sacred and the practical, to let your intuition guide your ambition, to use the M not for money alone, but for meaning. Remember this: a healer who hides from the world helps no one. A leader who ignores their heart leads everyone astray. You were chosen to be both. Take a moment. Think about your life right now, the work you do, the relationships you keep, the dreams you've buried under the excuse of someday. Every one of them is being tested, not because the universe wants to punish you, but because it wants to refine you. It's asking, will you keep splitting yourself in two, or will you rise as one? You might lose some things in this process. The job that drains you, the people who no longer resonate, the comfort of smallness, they'll all fade, piece by piece. And in their place, something rare begins to form. Alignment. It doesn't look dramatic. It doesn't sound like thunder. It's quiet, steady, undeniable. You wake up one morning and you realize you don't feel torn anymore. Your choices start to feel cleaner. Your actions start to feel sacred. Even ordinary moments carry meaning. That's how you know you're passing the final test. Because the test of purpose isn't a battle outside you. It's a marriage inside you. It's the union of logic and intuition, of earth and heaven, of the M and the moon. And when that union happens, something extraordinary begins. You start attracting opportunities that match your soul, not just your resume. The right ideas appear at the right time. Your words begin to heal. Your presence begins to lead. People feel different around you, even if they can't explain why. You become what the ancient texts called a living temple. Not a preacher, not a monk, not a guru, but a person who walks with purpose, who carries light in ordinary hands. That's what your marks were always meant to do. They weren't decorations, they were instructions. You came here to remember that success and spirit were never enemies. They were always two wings of the same bird, and when you finally let them move together, you rise. Let this sink in. You're not here to escape the world. You're here to transform it, starting with yourself. And when the world begins to test you again, when people misunderstand, when plans fall apart, when the noise returns, you'll remember this moment. You'll know exactly what's happening. It's not falling apart. It's falling into place. You're being refined for your role. Because purpose isn't a goal you find. It's a frequency you become. And now, your marks have done their job. They've led you back to yourself. You've passed the test of purpose. But the journey isn't over. It's only beginning. Because once your purpose awakens, you must learn to live it. Every day, every choice, every breath. That is where destiny begins. And in the final part, you'll discover how to anchor it, how to live as one who remembers. Let's talk about that. The solution, the ritual, the moment you finally say yes to your true purpose. Take a breath. You've made it through all 3 tests. And if you're still listening, it means your soul is ready for the truth that most people never reach. The marks on your hands were never random. They were reminders. Reminders that your life is not a coincidence, that your pain had purpose, that your isolation was initiation, that your intuition was divine instruction, and that your purpose was never just about you. Listen closely. The universe never gives power without guidance. It doesn't mark you for vanity, it marks you for responsibility. You were given 2 frequencies for a reason, to show the world what balance looks like when heaven and earth finally agree. So how do you live this truth now? How do you walk forward without losing what you found here? The answer is simple, but sacred. You stop separating your life into spiritual and ordinary. Today, you begin to treat every action, every word, every moment as an extension of your calling. When you work, work with presence. When you speak, speak with light. When you rest, rest with intention. Your life becomes your temple. Your hands, these hands marked by the universe, become instruments of healing, creation, and alignment. It's no longer about chasing meaning. It's about being meaning. Remember this, the M in your palm represents manifestation. The crescent line represents memory, the soul's memory of its divine origin. Together, they spell out a single word: mission. You are never meant to wait for the right time. You are the right time. Every breath, every heartbeat is part of the rhythm of your awakening. Take another breath. Let the words settle. You are not behind. You are right on schedule. Everything that left you, everything that broke you, was part of your alignment. The fire didn't destroy you, it forged you. And now, the universe is asking for one thing. Not belief, not perfection, just permission. Permission to let your purpose lead. That's what this moment is. A crossroads between the old self and the awakened one. Between the seeker and the messenger. Between fear and remembrance. And the ritual is simple. In the comment section, write this phrase: I accept my true purpose. Say it as you type it. Let the words travel through your body like a vow, because they are. It's not just a comment, it's a contract. When you declare it, something shifts. The static clears. The path brightens. You feel lighter, not because life suddenly becomes easy, but because your spirit stops fighting its own destiny. From that moment forward, you'll notice the difference. Your timing sharpens. Your coincidences multiply, and your energy feels protected even when chaos swirls around you. That's how you know the covenant is real. And one day soon, when doubt returns, because it always does, look at your hand again. Trace the lines. Feel them beneath your fingertips. The im, the curve, the meeting point of heaven and earth. Let it remind you, you are not small, you are not lost, you are not late. You are chosen to remember why you came. Listen, there will always be more noise, more pressure, more distractions. But you now carry proof on your own skin that destiny is not somewhere outside you. It's already inside you, waiting to be lived. So when the world asks who you are, don't say, I'm searching. Say, I'm remembering. Because that's what awakening truly is. Not learning something new, but remembering what your soul never forgot. You were never just another person. You were a bridge. You were the mirror. You were the message itself. So rise gently. Walk with awareness. Live as proof. And when you forget again, because you will, come back to this. Listen to these words until they sound like your own voice. Because one day, they will. You are marked, you are guided, and now you are ready. Say it with me, quietly or out loud, as the final seal of this moment. I accept my true purpose. That's all the universe needed to hear. And now, your destiny can begin.